I think you touched on some parts of your story that I think are really important for people to think about in terms of like when you had your cyst or your large cyst that I think you mentioned was like 18 centimeters, very large, diagnosed, you were faced with the idea of surgery, and you had to know that you were young, and you were obviously, thinking about sort of fertility related to this. And, were you able to have conversations about anything about, sparing an ovary or uterus or those kinds of things? And how do you think that, those were, I think we've things have changed a lot in the last 20 years in terms of us being active about having these conversations, but to get your perspective, I think would be really important.
Well, like I said, like 20 years ago, my doctor, my oncologist, I'm thankful for, decided to spare my other ovary and my uterus. Because I was young, he was hopeful that at some point the effects from the chemotherapy would be out of my system, and I can, one day have children if I wanted to, or at least have that option and not have it taken away at that age. I've heard from others now that it's a conversation that's had during those initial visits with their doctors, which I think are great. I don't know that I would have had the mind to have that conversation back then. So I'm thankful now that my doctor decided to, was an advocate for me, not understanding, really everything that I was going through at the time.